Are you looking for an investment that's, real? Something you can actually hold in your hand, not just a line on a screen? Well, today we're going to dive into exactly that, how you can buy physical silver online and get direct ownership of a real, tangible asset. I mean, let's be honest, the financial world feels like a total roller coaster these days, right? You've got inflation chewing up your savings, you've got markets going completely haywire. It's no surprise so many of us are looking for some kind of safe harbor. And for a lot of people, that harbor is precious metals. All right, let's jump right in. Here's our game plan. We're going to start with the case for silver itself. Then we'll look at its surprising role in technology. After that, we'll tackle the huge difference between physical and paper silver. Then I'll give you a step-by-step guide to buying it online, and we'll wrap up with how to keep your new assets safe and sound. Okay, so first things first, why silver? Gold gets all the headlines, it hogs the spotlight, but silver? Silver is the quiet powerhouse. It's not just a hedge against uncertainty, it's also a really strategic bet on the future of technology. And the real beauty of silver is that you don't need a massive fortune to get in the game. Its lower price point means you can build up a really solid physical position over time. Plus, it has this cool dual identity. It's not just a shiny metal with a long history as money. It's also a total workhorse in some of the world's most important industries. And for all you market watchers out there, here's a little insider tip. Keep an eye on what's called the gold to silver ratio. It's simple, really. It just tells you how many ounces of silver it takes to buy 1 ounce of gold. Right now, that number is way above its historical average. And what does that mean? Well, a lot of analysts see that as a huge sign that silver is an absolute bargain compared to gold right now. Okay, now we get to what I think is the most exciting part of the story. Silver's secret life as a tech superstar. Seriously, you might not believe how critical this metal is to the green energy revolution and all the gadgets that are literally building our future. So just take a look at this. A massive 60% of all silver is actually used in industry. For gold, that number's only around 10 to 15%. This creates a constant, hungry demand for silver from the industrial world, which helps put a really solid floor under its price. And we're not talking about just any old industries here. We're talking about the future. Things like solar panels, electric cars, 5G networks, and cutting-edge medical devices. Silver has these unique properties that make it the secret sauce in all of this. It isn't just a nice-to-have, it's absolutely essential. And get this, a single electric car needs up to 50 grams of silver. Now just stop and think about the millions and millions of EVs that are going to be hitting the roads every single year. The demand is just exploding. Projections show that EVs and solar panels alone could eat up a third of the entire annual supply within a decade. The miners just can't keep up. And that, my friends, is a classic recipe for a potential price surge. So this brings us to a really, really critical fork in the road for any investor. You have to ask yourself, do you want a piece of paper that says you own silver? Or do you want the actual, real physical thing that you can hold in your hand? Let's be perfectly clear here. When you buy a silver ETF or a mining stock, you are basically trusting a company, a third party, to hold your investment for you. But with physical silver, you are in control. There are no middlemen. There's no fine print to worry about. It's just you and your asset. Okay, let's talk about something called counterparty risk. Now, I know it's a fancy term, but it stands for a really simple and frankly kind of scary idea. What happens if the company holding your silver for you goes out of business? In a major crisis, that paper claim you have could become worthless. With physical silver, you just don't have that worry. It's yours, no matter what happens to the banks or the financial system. And this, right here, is why people have trusted physical precious metals for thousands of years. It's real wealth. It's like a shield against the chaos of the financial system. It's an investment that is truly and completely independent. Okay, so let's say you're convinced, but now you're thinking, how do I actually go about buying physical silver? Well, don't worry, it's a lot easier than you might think. Here's a simple 5-step guide to get you started safely and with confidence. So here's the game plan. First, you do your homework, which, hey, you're already doing right now by being here. Then you're going to pick what kind of silver you want, find a trusted dealer, figure out where you're going to store it, and finally, you just pull the trigger. It really can be that straightforward. Before you jump in, let's learn the lingo so you sound like a pro. The spot price is just the live market price for silver. The premium is what the dealer adds on top to cover their costs. You'll want to stick to bullion. That means it's valued for its pure silver content, not for being a rare collectible. And always, always make sure it's at least 0.999 fine silver. A huge part of your research is picking the right platform. Look for dealers that have years of good reviews, totally transparent pricing, and a secure website. If a site is vague about their costs or tries to pressure you into a fast sale, that's a big red flag. Now, you basically have two main choices: coins or bars. Coins from government mints, like an American Silver Eagle, are super easy to recognize and sell anywhere in the world, but they do cost a little more per ounce. Bars, on the other hand, are cheaper per ounce, and they stack up really neatly, but they aren't as easy to break up if you only need to sell a small amount. So you want to know how to get the most bang for your buck? The source material is pretty clear on this one. For a lot of serious investors, the 100-ounce bar is the way to go. It usually has the lowest premium, which just means you get the most possible silver for your money. It's pretty much the perfect choice for building a serious long-term position. All right, so you've bought your silver. Congratulations. Now what? Well, this last step, keeping it safe, is absolutely critical. But don't worry, we're going to walk you through the best options so you can make a really smart decision. You've really got two main paths you can take here. If you're building up a pretty big holding, a professional, non-bank vault is probably the safest bet. It's fully insured, it's independently audited, and you can just sleep well at night knowing it's secure. For smaller amounts, you can have it delivered right to your door. Just make sure you have a high-quality safe that's bolted down. And please, call your insurance agent. You need to confirm your policy actually covers precious metals. A lot of standard policies don't without a special add-on. You know, in a world that feels full of digital smoke and mirrors, owning physical silver is a real power move. It's not just an investment in some commodity. It's a declaration of your own financial independence. It's about taking back control. So, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. In a world of digital currencies and virtual everything, could it be that the ultimate form of financial control is owning something real? Something that's been a true symbol of wealth and stability for thousands of years? It's something to think about.